Today I wanted to talk to you about some of the products that we actually used during the 9 to 12 month phase. I can't believe that our baby is over a year old at this point. I've done all of these videos from the newborn age, so if you have a younger baby or you're just starting maybe a baby registry, make sure to check out the full playlist so you can see all of those other videos. In this age range, there's a lot more mobility going on, so a lot of what I'm going to touch upon is because your baby will probably be crawling a whole lot more if they weren't already crawling, maybe even walking if they aren't already walking. Walking before this range is a little bit early, but you'll see a lot of babies might begin to start walking, especially near the end, closer to a year. I am in Owen's nursery right now and wanted to mention a few clothing items while we're up here, and I will take you through the house and we'll talk about toys and feeding and all of that stuff. But while we're in the nursery, I wanted to mention his favorite pajamas changed once we got to this age range because he was doing a lot more standing up. He was pulling himself up to stand at the beginning of this age range, even though he wasn't walking yet. And I really wanted to be able to encourage him to walk, so I wanted him to be able to grip with his feet. When he had the pajamas on that had feet on the bottom that didn't have grips, he would slip and slide all over the place. So I would definitely recommend in this size of clothing, making sure pajamas and anything that covers their feet, it at least has grips on it, or it has a convertible foot. So I have a couple of pairs of pajamas here to show you. This is like what the bottom of the foot looks like, and it's almost like those newborn sleeves that have the mittens that are built in, but it is for their feet and it pops either way. A lot of times it's kind of color blocked like this. Our two favorite brands that we've found so far are Little Sleepies. That's this one. And then this one is Angel Deer. They're the same concept, really, really soft material, a double zipper, and the fold over on the feet as well as on the hands, which is kind of nice if your baby is in the winter in this age range. Speaking of grips and not wanting your baby to slide around, socks, if it is the winter and your child's wearing socks at this point, you want to make sure they have grips on them. I got these socks from Amazon when he was a newborn and got them in the little baby size. I have now gotten one size larger since then, but they have awesome grips. They're a pretty reasonable price and you can get them in a bunch of different colors. So check these out on Amazon. Our other favorite socks my parents actually got for us, and they are Bombas socks. And I wear these socks. They are great for adults, but for little kids, they are awesome as well. They come in some neutral colors, but my parents got us these really fun ones that are Sesame Street Bombas socks. They have the grippies on them, and then all of them have different characters. They are not as cheap as the Amazon socks, but really cute. And my brother and sister-in-law, who have twins that are 6 months older than Owen, say they are their favorite socks. Along the same lines, even if your baby isn't walking yet, it's a good time to start exploring putting shoes on their feet just so they get used to wearing shoes once it's time. You would hate for the first time you put shoes on your baby to be when they actually need to be wearing shoes. It's a foreign thing to them if they've never had them on before. So we started putting shoes on Owen once he began crawling around, and we felt like he was kind of getting to that age where he was pulling himself up and standing, and he was in public places, and we just wanted to make sure his feet were covered. Last random thing in the nursery section, I don't have a bunch on hygiene in this age range, but depending on when your baby gets teeth, for us, he started getting teeth at the end of 8 months. So in this age range, we really started brushing our teeth. Make sure you have a baby toothbrush. You can always contact your dentist if you have any questions, even if your dentist isn't a pediatric dentist. They usually have some great information. Ours gave me a little tutorial while I was just getting my teeth cleaned and gave me some toothpaste for Owen and the whole rundown and all of that stuff. So make sure to check with your dentist if you have any questions. I have a whole lot to discuss when it comes to food. In the 6 to 9 month video, I talked about introduction of solids, some of the tools we used. If you're curious what high chair we used, that's all in that video. So I will link that in the cards above if you're interested. In the 9 to 12 month range, your baby's gonna start relying on food as their sole source of nutrition, beginning to wean themselves off of formula, maybe breast milk. It's possible you might want to continue breast milk past a year, but the goal is that your baby is going to start eating foods more and more and using it to actually fill their tummies up. So we started introducing a snack at this point, and again, it was more important that he actually had those meals as opposed to the 6-month mark where it was okay if he maybe skipped one every now and then. So I want to share some of the things we use at home as well as on the go. For at home, we use a high chair that you can pull up to the table, and we like to use these silicone dishes that stick right on the table. They also can stick on the high chair. They're not perfect. There are no silicone dishes that I can find that are 100% perfect, but these ones do stick pretty well. We have a wood table, and I like the different varieties depending on what I want to give him. Sometimes I'll give him a bunch of different little things and like to separate it out for him. I use this bowl one a lot of times for breakfast because I'm giving him like some fruit and toast and put it in there together, or oatmeal or something like that. So those are great, so they can start to get a little introduction to some tableware, but don't throw it everywhere because that tends to happen at this age range. And speaking of that, when you're going out and about and feeding your baby maybe at a restaurant, you can bring these if you want. I think it's a hassle to bring something like this. I get a little bit grossed out by feeding him directly off of the table, and I don't want to give him a plate because he will throw it. 100% he will throw it. So I found these little travel mats that are disposable. You can get ones that are silicone, and again, you can roll it up and put it in your diaper bag and take it home with you, but it saves on a whole lot of mess. We don't go out to eat that often. So these little ones, they have a peel off sticker on the back on all 4 sides. You can peel it and stick it on the table at the restaurant and just put food directly on there for your baby. And we have loved that. I talked a little bit about the cups we were using when we were first introducing water and drinks, and we started off by doing open cups and then moved to straw cups and did kind of like a transitional straw cup. The straw cup we use right now, I don't even have a clean one to show you because they're both in the dishwasher, which says that we use them all the time, and I think I need to order more. There are a couple of types that we like, so I'll make sure to link them in the description box below. They are straw cups if you're interested in using straw cups and avoiding sippy cups, because we haven't used sippy cups. These straw cups I think are the best leak proof. They're not 100% leak proof. Again, same with the silicone tableware. It's hard to find something that's 100% leak proof, but these ones are really great. One of them is designed so the straw cannot be removed because babies love to pull the straw out, then they can't get their drink. And the other one, the straw is still attached, and it actually requires them to suck a little bit to open the top of the straw. That one is our favorite, but again, it'll be linked in the description box below. The other stuff I want to mention is actual food, some pre-made foods, some brands that we've really liked, because I have been reading ingredients, trying to avoid giving added sugar at this age. It's a different story when your kid gets a little bit older, but I still feel like before 12 months, I'm personally trying to avoid the added sugar category. So I'm really conscious of that and what I'm feeding Owen. For snack time, some of the brands of puffs, if you want to try doing puffs, they are meltable in your baby's mouth. They do have recommendations for when your baby is ready for puffs. This brand says when your baby starts crawling without their tummy touching the ground, when they can pick up foods with their pincer grasp, which is usually around 9 months. So around 9 months is usually the right time to introduce a food like this. Yumi has been a great brand. They typically have pretty clean ingredients, as well as Serenity Kids. This is probably my favorite brand because not only do they not have added sugars and other bad ingredients and oils added and unnecessary fillers, but a lot of times you can find their foods that don't have sugary fruits in them. So this one is broccoli and spinach. Other puffs, there'll be strawberry and mango and other sweet things, and he gets plenty of that elsewhere. If you do want to give them some fruit on the go, I've also gone out of the baby food section because one of the brands of snacks that I was buying, I just realized it was pretty much freeze-dried fruit. So I just started buying freeze-dried fruit for him. The strawberries, I think, are probably the easiest for him to eat. I would be careful with some of the larger ones and just being conscious of what your baby can handle. It might be a little bit better to give them some of the other fruits as they get closer to the 12-month mark and beyond. Pouches are also great for snack time. You guys know that I make my own pouches. I bought these refillable pouches, so I make my own, and I will stick them in the freezer until I'm ready to use them. And I just use straight fruit and other pure ingredients. If you want some pre-made ones that are shelf stable, the Go-Go Squeeze. These are their apple and fill in the blank other fruit usually. I bought this pack at Costco. These are pretty clean ingredients as well. It's just apple, strawberry, blackcurrant, lemon juice, and that's basically it. Be careful with this brand though, especially I know their yogurts are packed with added sugar, so even if you try this brand, just read the ingredient list. Kirkland, the Costco brand, has their own variety of pouches and they have pretty clean ingredients in there as well. Beyond the basic fruit pouches, because it's so important for your baby to start eating even more solids, the same brand of puffs that I like, Serenity Kids, makes pouches that have, I know it might sound gross, turmeric chicken. They have meat pouches. So they say they are for 7+ months. We rely on these as like a backup. I keep one in my diaper bag just in case Owen's not liking the food when we're out and about, or we go somewhere and we're having sushi and there's like not much for him to eat. I keep that in my diaper bag, as well as their other pouches that are non-fruit based, because again, he gets tons of fruit. This is butternut squash and spinach with avocado oil. These I think are like the purest ingredients you can find. It is organic butternut squash, organic spinach, water, and organic olive oil. That's it. So if you want a clean brand, make sure to try this. I think I have a coupon code, so check the description box for that if you're interested in ordering these. That's it for food. While we're in the kitchen, we have to touch on baby locks, because the kitchen is where you're going to need the most baby locks. And with a mobile baby, they're gonna be accessing more, they're gonna wanna open more, and you wanna make sure they're safe and protected. I will include the link to the baby locks that we use, but make sure they work for your cabinets, because not every baby lock works for every cabinet. You'll also see behind me, I have our baby gates. We really, really like these baby gates. They do work in a variety of different staircase situations. Not cheap, but they look really nice with our staircase. I think they come in a couple of different finishes, so I will link those as well. The last thing I wanted to talk about is toys, and at this point you probably know I'm a big fan of Love Every because it takes all of the thinking out of what toys are best for your baby based on their age. They have a subscription-based model where you can get play kits delivered right to your door based on your child's age, and it actually helps them learn and grow. I have seen it happen with Owen, watching him learn new skills playing with these toys, and he actually continues to play with a lot of his toys from previous play kits, so the investment kind of keeps paying off. It's rare that I have other must-have toys beyond the Love Every play kits, but there are a couple of ones that I want to mention today. I got this fun toy from my parents. They always want to be able to introduce more color into Owen's life, because I am kind of that neutral mom that likes all of the neutral, aesthetically pleasing toys. So I think my mom got me this because it's the exact opposite of what I always have. But Owen's obsessed with it. He loves this thing. It is great as your child starts to get a little bit older and they start to learn their colors and their shapes. You can ask them, you know, what color is this? What shape is this? So they learn, you know, the triangle goes on the triangle spot. And not only that, but the tops pull off and come back together, or you can pull the top off and stick it back in here without the top on. So there's two different ways you can do it. And at this age, there's a lot of opening and closing and putting of things together that I can see at least happening with Owen. So this has been really great, I think, to entertain him for quite a while, because there are so many different possibilities and colors and shapes and things that he can do with this toy. The other thing that he's really been liking is not just any board books, but specifically the board books that have touch and feel components to them. Our favorites are the Never Touch a fill in the blank. They have Never Touch a Monster. This one's Never Touch a Polar Bear. All of the pages throughout our touch and feel, and he now knows to go to the page and start going like this with his finger and starts feeling around for the spot that is a different texture. So he really likes doing that. We also enjoy the Jellycat books. It's the same concept. They're board books and have different feelings throughout the books and different little furs and stuff, so he'll touch them, and they're really cute because they have a tail on the back of them depending on what animal they are. The last toy I wanted to talk about is a toy that helps with mobility. Again, Owen started crawling and beginning to walk in this age range. He actually walked just about a week before his first birthday, but before he was able to walk independently, we had to get a ride-on toy or a push walker of some sort. Oh my goodness. So we got him this giant one. Again, it's a very bright color, but I actually kind of like the style of this one. We had a previous wooden one that was a little more aesthetically pleasing, but it actually didn't work very well. So this one functions and works great. The wheels move and glide across the floor, whether it's carpet or wood or tile or whatever the case might be. And I like this because he can sit on it and we can push it around. He was so cute the first time we did it. He got the biggest smile on his face and absolutely loved it. Or he can push it from here. He's now actually learned if he pushes it into a wall, he started walking backwards and pushing it the other way with the steering wheel because that sits up too, so it lets them kind of push from both directions. It has storage in the inside, and then all throughout the entire car there's different things that he can like turn and flip open and closed. And another thing I selfishly like about it is that it doesn't light up or make annoying sounds or anything like that, so they can entertain themselves without all of the lights and sounds. So those are kind of all of the things that Owen really used in the 6 to 12 month range. Let me know if you want me to continue maybe doing it in like 6-month chunks or even year chunks as Owen gets older beyond 12 months. I would love to keep filming this series. If you liked today's video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'm so glad you're here with me as we navigate through this motherhood journey, and together we make it sophisticated.